too, just because it really just comes down to meta heroes, stuff you don't want to play against, and we've seen all these heroes banned before, right? I think Shadow Demon's probably the newest addition to this like top tier hero picks, but it's not surprising. It's one of the support heroes. It can be 4 or 5. It's got a save mechanic. The cast range on Disruption was recently increased. In addition, you have a BKB Piercing Purge. It's very, very nice, especially with all these Yule's heroes in the game. Makes sense.
We saw that come out yesterday as well.
Yep.
Like, but let's talk about this Timber a bit. Do you think the hero is OP at this point?
I think it's just that it's one of those heroes that you need to specifically plan around beating.
But how?
And it's strong in the laning phase. It's the ideal hero for what I'll call like mismatch heroes, where you need to respond with more heroes than we do in order to stop me, right?
Okay.
So Timber Saw against pretty much any melee hero, pretty much any hero in Dota, once he hits level 7, he just starts hitting the tower. And if you don't have another hero there, he's going to hit that tower and he's going to run at you, right? So you need more than what this Timbersaw's team needs to apply pressure. That's a huge advantage. Because if he can just force 2 heroes to stay in that lane, you get numbers on the rest of the map. And that's the sort of concept that's really effective right now. That's why I'm surprised Bristleback isn't seeing more play. Because especially with Timber out of the pool, you need multiple heroes to deal with the Bristler.
No, that's how I feel. Like with the Timber, I don't know how you play against it. Earlier, you could like pick an Ursa, pick a Monkey King, and have a solid lane against him. Nowadays, the hero just always wins the lane. He's always pressuring towers. So I actually don't know if you can even shut him down ever. And then, like Al says, you have to actually chase him with multiple heroes. But then if the enemy team just predicts that, comes with enough heroes of their own, you're still going to lose the fight. To me, the hero is just way too powerful right now.
I love this opener. AA Ember immediately into the Chen. So remove, this is the hero that I would say also counters the Timber Saw. I'm surprised we don't see more first 2 AA come out because it's the only hero in Dota, and this again goes into why is Timber so meta. Other than Spirit Vessel, only AA and I suppose Scotty, even though I still see that as unrealistic, stop healing. So AA just straight up says, nope, none. This Chen's mech, this Chen regen, AoE heal, completely irrelevant if somebody gets ice blasted, and you have great catch with the Ember Spirit, highest reach carry in Dota 2 right now, and magic amp as well. It's just perfect synergy.
Yeah, definitely. And in the lane, they can actually work well together as well, because the chains is the setup for your Cold Feet, and Cold Feet actually does a lot of damage if it goes full duration and actually stuns someone.
How much damage does it do?
I have no idea.
No surprise there.
Huh?
Nothing.
Do you know?
I asked you.
So you don't. So you don't.
I believe it's 20, 40, 60, 80 a tick.
He took one from my book. I'm just gonna say something really confidently, and then it's gonna sound true. But
you know what? Let's check.
Let's go.
Check the facts.
I love this. You too.
Cold Feet live. You know, imagine times before the internet. Also, apparently there's a sitcom called Cold Feet.
There is?
Know that?
Really?
Yep.
I didn't know.
There you
British
go.
show.
Of course. But before the internet, you know, you would just say things and no one would be able to prove you wrong. 30, 50, 70, 90.
Okay, so
I was close.
Oh, okay.
Per tick over a 4-second period.
Okay.
So, 360 max level.
I like how when you're right, you say, so I was right. When you're wrong, you say, I was close. That's actually a nice way to put it.
That's why Carl never gets it wrong, even when his predictions are wrong.
Yeah, he's close.
Predicted it in that way.
He's close.
Yeah. See? Down to the wire, this man.
Speaking of close, I don't have a segue. Grimstroke is
Back in again.
Interesting in this scenario. I am not sure I like it against the Ember Spirit AA. I would have loved to see like a Silencer come out in that opening. I wouldn't be surprised to see Spirit banned out. I think Silencer's super underrated, not just because I saw it win yesterday, but one of the few answers you've got to this Ember AA combo. Because there's very few heroes that really play into this combo well. I think LC can be nice. They even go for Earth Spirit. They're all the spirits. Maybe we get the whole Spirit lineup. Void Spirit is available along with the Storm.
I really like Earth Spirit more on core right now.
Yeah,
I feel like on support it's underwhelming. It can work some games, but only if you get a good start. But these two supports are actually one of those that you can kill. in the early levels. So I guess that's kind of okay, but still kind of underwhelming when compared to some other position 4s in the lane. So I'd really like to see this Earth Spirit on mid. I feel like it's extremely strong. It can rotate a lot, even if it loses the laning stage.
Can you guys kind of see what Bait are trying to work around this time, though? Do you see a mix that slightly could be better than what they're working with?
I like the Wraith King. It's a nice counter to the AA because you tank the first Ice Blast, maybe you die, but you're going to reincarnate, no big deal. And it's just high damage output. It's tough for Ember to go toe-to-toe. That Tidehunter, I've seen this hero picked up not often successfully, but in this game, you need to combine the Ravage threat with high aggression, low cooldown stuns, and Earth and Ember Spirit provide that. So Tide can just sort of waddle in and protect his cores. You know, there's a possibility of a Ravage, but it's not necessary to secure kills. Also a very good laner against the Wraith King and Shen.
I really like this Tide pick. I don't know how you actually answer that. Do you go for like a Doom here? Or something along those lines? I'm not sure, because if the Tide gets Ravage off here, these two supports are dying to the Ember and the Earth Spirit, and then the Wraith King, who's just standing there and gets Anchor Smash, he's not going to be able to do anything. So I'm not sure. You really need an answer to this Tide. So
you could just LC perhaps. I think a Baden's also a possibility, although I'm not a huge fan of it into AA.
If you go LC, how do you kill someone in the duel? It's not like you have a ton of damage, right? The lineup is...
Oh, dude, don't you just Bristleback?
Okay. Then how do you catch people? I don't know. Like this.
Well, what do you know? What should they pick?
I'm not sure. This Tide just seems like a perfect pick to me.
It's be the worst person to have on your team. I can imagine being in the draft like, hey guys, what about this here? Ooh, I don't know. What about this one? I don't like that either. The worst is when you're trying to talk to your offlaner, because there's certain games there's just like no good hero, so they don't want anything, so they're just gonna be displeased whatever it is you pick up. Centaur perhaps, although I'm not a huge fan of it in Tide. At least gives them kill threat. You can get onto the back lines, and the support duo doesn't rotate as well. And you natural hood buyer. I think it's got to be a hood buyer. That's the point.
I'm looking at something that can actually kill the Tide without him getting the Ravage off. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think that's doable. What is that hero?
Doom.
Legion
Okay,
Commander.
they go for the LC.
That smile.
Smug smile.
He's like, I did call it right now.
It gives you the ability to kill Tide because you can duel him. It's not cleansed off with the Kraken Shell. In addition, you can purge, or rather cleanse, off the Cold Feet, so you're not as susceptible in the laning phase. And assuming it's Ember safe lane, you lane very well against him. So,
but is it enough?
I'm scared because now you're 1 and you're 3. Are both the same hero. You attack one guy, melee physical damage. Very susceptible to being kited. Tidehunter not going to die. You need a very special Dendi hero to win this game now. And I don't know what that is, because typically he doesn't play the weird heroes. As I said, he's an honorable mid player.
Can he, for once, put it aside to try and get a win? Throws a curveball, you know?
If it's Quap banned...
We had the Viper pick randomly that everyone went crazy about yesterday.
And
they banned all his heroes. No Mars, no Quap, no DK.
And Bait still, they don't have the last pick. Yeah. So that means that Spirit can put this Ember wherever they want. If they see that it's good in mid, they can actually pick like a Troll again. I don't know if it's banned. It's awesome here again.
The Dendi Sniper.
Oh, okay.
I think Sniper's super underrated. Problem is, when you're not last pick, you're susceptible to just getting counterpicked.
Yeah, straight up.
And then there's also an Earth Spirit roaming on you, and you're very sad. But it's a very good anti-AA, anti-Tide hero.
I like it in a sense that I think they need something that does constant damage, right? Yeah. Because I don't really see them killing a hero in this duel unless they're ahead. So if they have something that's constantly poking you, and they have Chen to protect you, they have LC to protect you, I think the Sniper could work.
Knowing Dendi, though, it'll be something like Lina instead, even though it's not as great. I just want it to be mixed damage and ranged, and I'm just not sure what that is. Puck, perhaps? Snow Cape
you
Puck
mentioned that a few times. It seems like even they are trying to work out exactly how they can fix this.
And we'll see. We will see. Okay. Dendi Bat. Unless it's an LC mid. Bat into Tide Ember, though. It's more single target. Banks. There is literally no AoE on the side of this bait lineup.
So we're going on raw skills, straight heads up play.
I feel like this is okay in a sense. They want to lane the Batrider against the Ember. So where Ember goes, Batrider goes. But that's just keeping your draft open because your enemies have that opportunity as well. I still don't see it being a game-winning hero this game. So I like it for the laning stage, possibility for snowball. But other than that, if it doesn't work out, I feel like it just falls flat.
No, I think that it's probably just a... You just need a playmaker now. If you're a Spirit, maybe a Puck. I love the hero. I still think it's underpicked. You just got to make sure you don't get abused in the lanes. Weaver is not really pickable into LC Wraith King. And you go for the Troll again. It's no real surprise. They don't have a great matchup against the Bat, but in the game, in the team fights, where's Baited's sustained DPS really going to come from? They're all in on this idea that they're going to get a Grimstroke ulti into like Wraith King stun lasso and find immediate kills. But it's just, their team fight is terrible.
It's going to be a bit of a problem. Team Spirit looking strong again on this then. We're definitely feeling more comfortable for them. They look more comfortable. They've got all the spirits they want with it. They just forcing themselves into holes that like, oh, we've got to now try and dig ourselves out of it.
Yeah, this is that Bat is good against both of those heroes, but if either one of them is having a solid game, he's gonna be very annoying for the rest of your team. So if you shut down the Troll, the Ember is gonna make space for the Troll. If Troll gets a good laning stage, he's just straight up gonna win the game. So I feel like Spirit is most likely gonna get this game. I don't see Bait like snowballing out of control here.
Yep. Bait just feels like they're still living in the past. It's not as much about hero kills anymore. It's about getting your farming pace increased, taking team fights around objectives in the mid game, and Spirit's got that in spades.
Spirit do have all the Spirit and everything in their favor again, so we're looking at potential 2-0 on the back of this game. It sounds really like we're being super negative on it, but from what you just said there about Bait maybe not being up to date with the meta and playing how they should be playing, why would you not try and position yourself better than this? Why would you... Do they think this can still work, or they've got some faith in it?
If it's something that you've been practicing and you think that you can pull it off perfectly, you can win games, right? If your opponents are making mistakes. But I just feel like it's very hard not to make mistakes when you're playing a lineup like this. So they might be confident. We don't know that.
They might be confident, thanks.
They need to be confident
It's
in
a
what they've picked because they've got to roll with it now. We've got Syndra and Suns fans standing by. Guys, what do you make of this? Because it seems heavily difficult for Bait right now, and it certainly wasn't easy in that first game. Maybe they're not with us.
That's you, Syndra.
There they are.
Oh, hello. That's me, apparently.
One of them's going to be sleeping at some point, whether it's before the game, mid-game, you never know.
I'm with you guys on this. I'm worried for Bait. I think the type of fight that they need to get here is where the Grimstroke gets 3 levels in Phantom's Embrace, and he gets it on the Tide, and then they kill other heroes while Tide can't Ravage. You can't crack and chill off that thing. So that's like... you have to do that and get on top of the Troll or something like this. At least this time Troll doesn't have a save. But yeah, lanes look kind of dodgy, except the Bat lane, you're in trouble. Tons of play, potential team fight, everything. Better farming patterns on the Radiant. So I think their draft is, for me, is clear-cut better. But the Dire lineup can snowball. So if they get off to a hot start, this kind of lineup can play really fast. So we'll see.
Something to keep in mind, Cinder, and that's very important pre-game, is to look at the Dota Plus levels on each respective hero. And we have the level 25 on each side, my friend. Immersion on Earth Spirit is a level 25, which is disgusting. And Ghost Stick on Legion Commander. Can you believe it?
That's
a lot of
he
damage.
Plays this hero a lot.
Have you had the pleasure of playing against them or with?
Yeah. Every time Ghost Stick is in the game, there's a 50% chance this is a Legion Commander. So I have.
Wow. That often. Oh my goodness.
But both of these players are really good at their heroes, obviously. Immersion's Earth Spirit has, in the past, won some games by making incredible plays. I'm trying to remember. It was when he was playing with FNG in... Was that also Team Spirit at the time? Maybe it was. But yeah, his Earth Spirit is super good. And Ghost Stick might be the best Legion Commander in the game. He's really, really good at the hero, but he's got his work cut out for him here. He's playing against a pretty strong lane, Troll AA, and his support with him is Grimstroke. There's some synergy here. They can win the lane, but I don't think it's easy.
Yeah. How much value is press the attack this game? So you can take off obviously Cold Feet, Whirling Death in terms of the, well, I guess both the slow and the melee miss chance. Searing Chains is probably the biggest one this game, I would say. I guess anything for the Tide Ravage if you're not in it, but that's kind of difficult.
Yep. The biggest one is Chains, I would say.
It's been a while since I've seen the good old-fashioned Tide Hunter. He's got the cosmetics equipped, the ice god-awful thing on his face. Good to go.
Oh, mid lane, Dendy's on Urgon. He needs to skill Chains here to survive.
Yeah, 3 stacks, 4 stacks.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on Dendy playing the Batrider this game? How does the Batrider match up, not just laning stage, but throughout the whole game?
I think, yeah, laning stage is great. Whole game, I'm a bit worried. I think Ember is a really good hero against Bat in the mid game. He has super high reach on a guaranteed route on you. A hero like Earth Spirit can be annoying, has multiple ways of kiting you, slowing, stunning, silencing. You know, Batrider is a very mobility-based hero, so anybody that can like intercept your mobility or can purge allies away from the slow is a good way to go. And the Radiant have a couple of those, so I don't think it's an easy bat game, personally. But the laning stage should be really good for him.
Yeah, you should get up to at least a good start. Sal was already forced out in the top lane for Excalibur, who had a very rough game last time around on the Slark, so hoping for a better performance here. I mean, you get a free death, Synderance, so that should help him at some point in the game. But he's at 10 and the Troll's at 10-0 in terms of CS. And if you go to the Wraith King 7-1, so early on, definitely in Troll's advantage for now. As he's going to get harassed a little bit in the bot lane. This is going to be really close. Inkswell will be there,
Ghostic
not
Legion.
even needed.
Never doubted him.
Legion Commander winning the lane. I think they need the Earth Spirit, level 25, to go into that lane to make up for that.
That's a good point. The Earth Spirit is super free to move. Chen Wraith King is just not very strong. Oh man, they're going in hard on LeBron here.
Yeah, they're jumping in. The roll didn't connect on LeBron himself, but he might die anyway. The range creep is chasing him, Cinder. No, that's his own. That's a shame.
Yeah, well, it was chasing him.
He does have the Hedress, of course, so will regen very slowly over time. We'll see if... how often does... Okay, this is a dumb question. I asked a lot of dumb questions in there. How often do the position ones give a tango to the supports in situations like this?
I want to say relatively frequently, but the thing is, most of the time the fives have their own tangos, right? It's just because Chen wanted to start Hedress. Oh, he's in trouble.
They're gonna jump in on Excalibur.
Yeah.
So both LeBron and Excalibur are extremely low in this top lane.
It feels so good being Earth Spirit right now because you can kind of do whatever you want. Right now he's valuing pressuring top. Any point he can TP bot and turn a gank around, or he can even try to kill the Batrider mid with Earth Spirit or with Ember. Probably when Ember's level 6. Or he can just kill LeBron. That was easy. Oh, a courier too.
Okay.
Nope, never
now
mind.
the courier will live. Nice try, Cinder. And that's Shag work. He's actually faster than other couriers, just so those that don't know. That's definitely worth the purchase. Excalibur now. It's going to miss the roll, his immersion, but they might get the kill anyway. Just ring around the Rosing on his tower. A couple more right clicks should do it. LeBron Dota is here, but only for moral support, as he's going to take over a range creep now.
Oh, get killed bottom
like
again.
Dies in the bot lane. Oh, this is going to be close, though. Driako going for Ghostic. He will get the Whirling Axe range addition and get the kill, but mid lane, Dandy gets the kill onto the Ember Spirit, which you said this was favored for Batrider. Are you surprised that there was a kill this early?
Not when I look at Ember skill build. I'm wondering if it's really that much value to not get chains yet. Like if you really need to go 0-3-2. Because chains is, even at level 1 chains is 1.5 seconds that you can create a gap to Batrider when he gets on top of you. So maybe a little bit greedy on the skill build here, Urgon. He's a full level behind now. And Dendy knows that he doesn't have chains, so he could go for another kill now that he has lasso as well.
Indeed.
That's a lot of potential here in the mid lane. Urgon's gonna farm jungle because of that.
Oh. Mergen, he's going to take a Wraithfire blast to the face with the little skelly buddies chasing him down, but it looks like he will actually live through the day. Gets a kickoff and will actually connect to LeBron. A nice long range shot there. But looking at the CS, updating everybody, the Troll Warlord still on top, despite the lane not going. I mean, he has died, of course, along with AA. So would expect the Earth Spirit to maybe transition here pretty shortly. Dendi actually came here. We'll go back to mid. Actually get a lasso off immediately. But yeah, Urgon is level 6. Puts down a Remnant. Didn't have one down before. And we'll be fine now. Or will he? Dendi still has 4 stacks on him. Yeah. We'll chase him out. So Dendi wasted a little bit of time actually going to the bot lane, which helped Urgon catch up a bit on the levels, but obviously still a half level advantage for
Oh, he
Dendi.
gets a haste rune. That's big. This gives him the potential to rotate and kill bottom, or they can run down the Bad Rider knowing that Lasso's on cooldown. He has an easy way of staying on top of him now with the Earth Spirit rotation.
Yeah, Earth Spirit, speaking of which, is now bottom lane. Inkswell will prevent any more damage being applied to Ghost Tick himself, but Sitomahe is taking the brunt of the damage. Now it looks like he will likely fall.
It's the
And
worst
down he
pronunciation of a nickname I've heard my entire life. I love it.
Cinder, just please, okay? Please, God. How do you say it? Please.
Stomanen.
I'm not saying that. Come
It's
on,
because
that's
it's
not.
Cyrillic, so the C is pronounced S and the H's are pronounced N.
I don't know this, okay? I'm not cultured enough to know
I
these.
like Tomahe.
I'm gonna call him whatever the hell I want, all right? Ember Spirit.
All right.
Haste Rune is activated. He's at half HP right now. Immersion is right behind him. Dendi not too afraid. Doesn't have lasso for another 18 seconds and no mana to boot anyway. We'll pop his Firefly anyway.
Oh, Durasho is in
They
trouble,
got
but... Oh, good slows. Good slows.
Yeah, nice slow from Misha as Immersion has TP down here. So now it's a 3v2 in theory. See if they can actually clean anybody up, though. Ghostek gets a nice overwhelming odds. Does a decent amount of damage. Now he's on the run to press the attack, but looks like it's more than enough to take him out as he gets tipped immediately after. Very important to keep them tilted, as Urgon is just farming the jungle now. So in terms of Bat Rider, we talked about it the last game. Obviously a different position than before, but I don't think the build really changes that much, right? You think there's going to be anything crazy?
I think he's probably still going travels, but I don't know if it's the best item here. I feel like this dire lineup is a bit on a timer, self-inflicted, and maybe you need to buy something like a quick auras for your team even, so you can fight. Like you get Pipe, but I think Legion wants to buy Pipe.
Oh, top lane,
Dendi's got
Cinderman, Tide Hunter. Oh, he's staying alive a little bit longer
is
thanks
actually
to
not
that
dying.
wand. Okay, he lives through the day somehow, but LeBron is here. And now Tide Hunter in a bit more trouble, I would say. And finally
He
finds
waited
his way
too long
to
on
the
that
grave.
anchor. I think he had it earlier. But
Would he have lived, though?
I think so.
You think it was enough? Really?
Yeah, he has Morbid Mask. It does a lot.
Oh, he does have Morbid Mass.
Yeah.
Okay, very early. Nice.
It's gonna
Love to
rush
see it.
Vlads. It's the go-to build on Tide. It's so good to get Vlads with Anchor. Oh, nice kill though. Bait-Do managed to just barely get it there with the Chen coming in from the side.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Looks like Dirashoyo on the Troll. I'm just going to say Troll Warlord. Will not be going Battle Fury this time around. Will be the Diffusal. Obviously, Wraith King being able to burn his mana is quite nice. And just for general chase potential, although that can technically be purged off with Press the Attack.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
What do you think about that over Battle Fury? Not worried about farming as much? Just want to get some kills? You get the hold. I thought we're going to see a Ravage top lane, Cinder, and very exciting stuff, as it looks like Dendi will get turned around on. He
Oh,
will
Afterlife is
die as a
low.
result. See, Hamanamana is going to get his Inkswell off. It will connect with the Earth Spirit, but not a whole lot of damage.
That was a
okay.
lot of damage.
Okay. He rolls out to safety. And there's the Mask of Madness, like you were talking about, going to
That's
work.
just a Morbid
the
Mask,
LC.
but could have been.
What did I say? I said Mask of Madness. It looks like a mask. Come on. Tide Hunter getting surrounded now. Excalibur has a Wraith Fire Blast. Only level 1, of course. But you have to think eventually he will go down, and this Hamanamana will get the kill. And LeBron Dota in the bot lane, Cinderman.
Ember's like,
Taken out by
oh.
Urgon.
Uh,
So we missed the Legion kill that was also bottom. So there's a lot of action all across the board.
So Troll is definitely getting Diffusal because he's against Wraith King, right? You just want the mana burn, but it also has the added benefit of being a really good item against both Bat Rider and Legion. Both heroes run a lot through the enemy team during fights. It's a lot of movement speed based. As soon as Press the Attack is used, Legion hates getting diffuseled. It's really bad for Batriders to lose the mobility as well during fights.
Oh,
So I
a
think
blast
it's
connects
really
on
good.
Ghostic. That half
He's
HP. May have made that a little bit more dramatic than it was meant to be, but that's the job, Synderen. Make things more dramatic.
Radiant's middle
And that
tower
Mud
is
Golem
under attack.
is gonna go down. And he burst into 2 little babies. Who would have thought he was pregnant all this time? The lore implications.
Imagine if
are
humans were
unbelievable.
like that.
Radiant structures
They
are
just,
fortified.
when you die, you just pop out 2 little babies.
Yeah.
It's like ultimate
The world would have
replication.
been overpopulated
See,
a lot faster then. Oh,
yeah, that's
Jen's
true. We're
in
getting there,
trouble.
though.
Good
Yeah,
TPs.
LeBron in quite a bit of
Oh,
trouble. The
fair
silence onto Ember Spirit. He's going to get dueled. A little bit too much for him to handle as Bait take him out with ease. Good rotations overall.
They
but this
mega
will open
rotated
up
though.
the
They brought
Tidehunter.
5 heroes to kill 1 guy. It's at least the Ember, but they used Lasso, Duel, and 5 heroes here. If they don't get this bottom tower, I don't think they're too happy about this, but it looks like that will definitely be the case with all the skeletons being used.
Tower is under
Yeah, it
attack.
looks like it will be a
Immersion
trade.
is
Flame
struggling
Break
to get-
is
he's
there.
actually dying.
Inkswell to follow. Will he be surrounded by LeBron's little babies? The Roland is there, but it's so many sticky napalm stacks that Dendy is able to. Ooh, he actually finds a stack of
Radiant's
ancients.
bottom tower has
That'll
fallen.
take a while to do, so he will
Radiant structures
probably not
are
be able to do this
fortified.
alone, at least not yet.
If they can
Maybe he will.
redirect the Wraith King skeletons up there, they might be able to take that stack.
Oh, AA Blast does not connect on the top line, but Ghostic is still in a lot of trouble because Urgon is here next to his baby watermelon fellow. And
Why is
again,
Tide a
finding kills
baby
left,
now?
right, and center. I don't know. I'm all over the place. Don't listen to me. Pretend I'm not here,
Tower
Synderen,
is under attack.
as you already do.
What was the thing Kyle
Continue
was
on.
saying on the panel? You're saying stuff just for the sake of it, right?
Yeah, that's I'd make a good politician as a result, right?
Yes, absolutely.
how
No,
it
you need to specifically not know something.
Oh yeah, that's
You need
true.
to not know
Yeah.
what you're talking about. You partially know what you're talking about.
I'm
so I
sure
don't
we
think
can
you
cleanse
qualify.
ourselves. Urgon, he's gonna get something from the Ixwell.
Dire's top tower
Looks like
is
the A
under
Blast will connect on Sitamahe, which I will call him that the rest of the game, Synderen.
attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Is there, but well, by the way, what do you think about this this Wraith King type skill build that RTZ started? Actually saw the Wraith Fire Blast a little bit earlier than
Dire's
where you,
structures
typically you
are
just max out both passives, right? Like it's
Yeah, I
technically
think
the
I think
most fun
I think it's the best build almost always on Wraith King to get 144. Sometimes 044 is the best. I still think value point and stun in a lot of lanes does quite a bit of work, but yeah, I'm not mad at the Max Vampiric or into Mortal Strike. It's way better
Explains
farming.
to me
timing build.
as Tidehunter is getting chased right now. The lasso is there. Into the fire he goes. He's going to get the Ravage off onto 2 plus a bunch of wolves. Call it a strike if you will. Immersion is here as well. Let's see. Ghostic even wants to use his duel. Doesn't look like it. So they turn it around completely onto Dendy. Not able to take out that Tidehunter. I was going to ask, what are your thoughts on Armlet versus an AA? I know that I have a pub mentality, Synderen. Very, very low IQ, if you will. Only like
No,
ancient
it's not a
divine
bad point.
status. But
I guess it's
why?
more forgivable on Wraith King because you have 2 lives, right? So even if you do pop to Ice Blast on the first life, you can at least use your Armlet fully on the second. So I would say, as far as, well, basically every hero in the game goes, I think this is the most forgivable one to go Armlet against AA on. The kind of hero you really don't want to do it with is something like Huskar, unless you're
The
guaranteed to
duel,
have Aegis.
so greedy and didn't even get the tower.
Dire's
Just
top
feeds
tower
his life away in the top lane. Troll Warlord.
Whoops.
That is a second death to his name. He actually didn't even have Diffusal. It was coming to him on a courier, I believe. That's a little bit surprising. So not farming nearly as well this time. I guess he is still top net worth now that I say that. So forget that.
Yeah, he's not going Fury. So was that the Diffusal done?
Yeah.
It is, right? Yeah, okay. So I think there's a really strong timing for Team Spirit right now, where as soon as Ravage comes online in 1 minute, and with this Troll Diffusal, you can run at the enemy team, and all you really need to be careful of is not letting Batrider get a free fight. I think the rest of the Dire lineup struggle a lot dealing with Tide right now, as well as the Troll Diffusal. It's a serious... Oh, mid lane,
Oh
Dendy's
my
in
god,
trouble.
Dendy. Oh god, destroyed. Every combo is there. I was gonna mention that Dendy did get a pretty good... I mean, Faded Brooch, I think, is maybe the best neutral item for
It's really good, yeah.
tier 1. Especially on Batrider. Not only the mana, but the Musu, more importantly. but he dies right after, so I shouldn't have said anything.
Well, this
My
is the
apologies,
problem against the Ember, right? We covered this earlier, that you're a hero that's so dependent on free mobility. You fly through the mid wave to try to push it out, you get slide chained into Earth Spirit roll and Ice Blast, and you die. And Dendi, I love that he's going BKB here. I actually think it's necessary on the bat to do that this game, to be able to play aggressively. It's an item build that has been becoming a lot more popular in the last few months, where bats will get BKB as like their first or second big item for that fighting ability. In the past, it was almost always either Blink, Force Staff, or travels into Blink, or travels into some sort of auras. But I like the BKB a lot here. I think it has to pay off. In my opinion, if Bait wins this game, it's because Dendi pops off when he gets this item and gives them some insane fights. So it was that or a pipe, and they do not seem to want to go pipe. Or maybe Chen's getting the pipe. Does he have it, actually? He has it. All right. That's a big item.
Bait have smoked up. Immersion is going to tank the gank, as it were. Oh, will he, though? He gets silenced in the middle of his roll. Looks like he's going to be stuck in the middle of all the damage. And AA Blast does connect, but the duel will be more than enough to take him out. Dendi very low. AA Blast is not quite in threshold, I do believe. Soulbind onto 2. Ghost Stick. Looks like he's going down to the right click of the troll, and the Ravage does connect onto 2. Excalibur has come to play, has his armlet activated. We'll get stunned up. He has all his Skelly buddies here. Troll Warlord does have
stun
his
chain.
Silenced and
Very nice.
stunned repeatedly. So they take him out in quick succession, and now it looks like Team Spirit is on the run. Dendi still has that lasso. Will bring back Ember Spirit into the fray. Do they have enough to actually lock him down after the fact, though? He gets the steering chains up along with his remnants. Tidehunter might have to be the sacrifice here. As AA Blast again coming in, and the roll-in from AA, they're going to turn around again, but Wraith King comes back with his reincarnation, and that should win this fight pretty handily for Bait.
Yeah, that was such a key timing on the pipe.
Misha
Misha's
gonna get chased down as
interesting.
well. Another duel, second duel of this fight. Aye. That was a
So
long
many
one.
things going really well for Bait here. The pipe timing on Chen was huge. They did an awesome stun chain on the troll. He never got ulti off. He got silenced by the Grimstroke into Centaur Stomp, into Golem stuns, into death. So the troll had almost no impact in this fight. And then they mitigated so much damage because of that fresh pipe plus Hand of God. So perfect timing for Bait. I think this is the best play they've made all series so far. Just really understanding how strong they are and what to do in the fight. And it's tempting for Grimstroke to save his silence for the Tide, right? But I think the Ravage was already used. So the play of putting it on Troll is very obvious at that point. And just preventing him from getting that trance off. Nicely done.
Thoughts on Boots of Travel on Tidehunter to go along with the Vlads?
Don't know what I feel about this.
So the Ravage was on 2 here. It wasn't a bad Ravage, but he had to walk in, obviously, so it's a little bit more awkward. If he had a blink, in theory, would have been a much better initiation.
Yeah, I think he was forced to do it to save an ally, right? He did it to catch and save at the same time, I believe. Somebody was low there, if I remember correctly. So it was kind of a multi-purpose one. Nice blast. It's gonna miss.
Dendi, he's gonna get diffused. He's gonna get the lasso off onto Troll Warlord, though. The jump in from Immersion. Like the Grimstroke will die on the backside here, as Dendi is gonna be the focus for Team Spirit. And nice stomp again from the Chen, keeping things close here for Bait, but Dendi will fall regardless. That's a double kill for Urgon on the Ember, who now has the Yule Scepter to go along with his Ring of Aquila, which he did not purchase. He found that in the jungle, believe it or not.
Unbelievable.
If you had told me about the concept of neutral items a year ago, I would have said you have the worst. It would have been like equivalent to a Slacks to Ags, which is also in the game in the form of the Lichen Bite. So, yeah, there's that.
Anybody
turn around as a
contribute to
Roche.
the game.
Yes, that's right. A raving lunatic.
I'm thinking about this travel on Tide. I think he just feels like he wants to be able to constantly stay on top of the right heroes in the fights. When you have travels on Tide of 430 move speed, you can always be on top of Wraith King, you can always be on top of that Legion for anchor smashes. And indirectly, it's a good farming item as well for him, right? You can run to waves, push them out quickly with anchor, and travel to his team. So it's not bad. I'm just thinking, like, what was the alternative he could have bought that could have high impact here? I think a lot of players in this game would buy Pipe after the Vlads. It's great against Grimstroke, Legion, and Bat. I actually think the majority of players would do that, but different plan here from Spirit.
Well, the Aegis is now on top of Diraccio. Troll Warlord, of course. Going towards a BKB, so I have to expect him most likely to wait to finish that before fighting with that Aegis. At least history tells us anything. That is typically what has happened. Spirit Vessel is being built now on Urgon. Of course, this is the new Spirit Vessel, which we talked about earlier today, since I haven't gone to bed yet, Synderen, but yesterday for you. Has an aura mechanic now, but overall, in most cases, is weaker than before.
I would
still
say
a cool change. I like the change quite a bit. And Bait has smoked up here, but not finding anybody initially.
Yeah, this Vessel against... It's nice to have the aura against Wraith King all the time. He's very lifesteal based. But the active... This is the kind of game where maybe the new one could be argued to be better, because there's a dispel on the enemy team from the Legion Commander to take off the active part of the Vessel. And Wraith King himself might buy a counter as well later. So possibly just the aura part will be nice. I'm surprised he's buying it. I thought Urgon was going to go a different path here. Maybe get Ags or Shiva, something like that.
Oh, Ghost Stick, press the attack. Oh, he blinks in. Reveal of the blink, but it was a little too short. Now Tidehunter. We feel very confident with those Vlads.
Close to Solar
And
Crest
now
on him
has
too.
Medallion. Yep, Solar Crest will be big. Troll Warlord will hit like a truck. Troll Warlord does have BKB. Wait, did he buy the Ogre Axe, or is this...
Yeah,
he
his
has not
BKB
yet.
in 10 gold.
So with the Ogre Axe, we'll have it. And we'll actually be going Abyssal next. I love Abyssal on this hero. It just feels so strong. So we're going to see the duel now onto an Illusion. He gets it! Unfortunately, it doesn't come with any damage, though. Ghost Stick, level 25. Not enough for your Spidey senses to be tingling this time. We'll be going Blade Mail, of course. It's funny that Blade Mail is still picked up on pretty much every hero that built it consistently for like the Axes of the world, Legion Commanders, even though it's so much worse than before, Synderen. Makes me sad deep down inside. That patch really hurt Blade Mail.
Well, lately though, it has become a lot more popular again because of the damage increase it got in 725, I want to say. And the reduced cost on it too. It dropped by 200 price as a result of the broadsword going from 1200 to 1k. So definitely, it got some love lately, and now it has got an int nerf this patch, -2 int.
Oh no, not that. Anything but my int.
Yeah, a way of probably combating the fact that all these int cores were starting to buy it almost regardless of game. Now it skips a little bit less in their primary stat. I think it's still a good item on heroes like Queen of Pain, Furion, these kind of heroes. But slightly worse at least. Chen losing his entire army bottom to Ember. It's gotta feel really bad.
Yep. Satyr is the last to survive, but not for long. Sad days, and he's gonna tip LeBron. In games, does this actually tilt people? Doing that? Do you think?
I mean, I can't speak for everybody. I don't think it matters that much. I think it's maybe a little bit overrated, but it can give an edge against some players, of course.
Cinder, the correct answer is it tilts almost everyone but you. I don't think you've ever been tilted in a game of Dota. Pretty sure.
Yeah, that's true. I'm very stable.
Yeah. When you tip someone, they think it's sarcastic, but they know it's a real tip. I really enjoyed playing with him.
If you ask No-Tail, he will definitely tell you, by all means, if you outplay an opponent or they make a mistake, you should tip them, because why not? It's in the game and it's an advantage for you. If you even influence them a little bit, why not do it?
Yeah,
right?
exactly. I love that mentality.
That's a fair point. I'm just saying most people
Excalibur has the Radiance right now, the Silence under the Tidehunter.
Durascio.
Troll Warlord, of course, still has the Aegis. They're going to bring him back with the lasso in front of the tier 1
Oh
tower.
my,
He's
he
gonna
got
pop his
ulti
ult,
up anyway.
actually. My goodness. He's going to live for now. He's going to lifesteal off of some creeps. Another Satyr biting the dust. And he's back to half HP, just like that. And with that, they're just going to combine forces into one. The Aegis has been consumed, though. They probably will take this tier 1 tower anyway. I was actually a little bit surprised that he did pop his ult because the Aegis was expiring soon anyway. But didn't matter in the end. Have you ever seen Troll Warlord Ags in a competitive game? Like
No.
off of Roche or something?
I don't think so. I don't even think I've seen the Alpha Roche. Maybe one game. Maybe one game.
So everyone talks about how it's so bad because you would never want to cast it on an enemy or an ally or whatever the case may be, but it cuts the cooldown in half. It's not that bad if you just use it normally.
Right.
It's like, I believe it's 35 seconds, or maybe, or 45, I guess, is half.
45, yeah.
Good stuff, Cinderin. Next meta. Oh, we're gonna have a duel now. Looks like Ember Spirit will be the one to go down. Unfortunately,
That was
Ghostic
so
does not get the
close.
duel damage. He has 40 at the moment. I think they continue to fight here. Troll Warlord will continue the pressure. Pops the BKB, gets the root. Looks like Chen will bite the dust, so it's a 1-for-1 with the Soulblind onto 2, but no follow-up as of yet. Excalibur does not have Wraithfire Blast, so they're not able to really
Lassos?
double up on any spells. Lasso is there onto the Earth Spirit. Buyback onto the Ember Spirit. We'll see if Bait will attempt to get out of dodge. Ravage is still online. Excalibur, of course, still has Reincarnation. They want to get rid of that first life first, and they will do so.
They want to get rid of the second life
Positioning.
second.
Yes, second life second is coming. Cinder, very well said, very eloquent as always. And they will get him easily, in fact. But it did cut the buyback on Orgun, of course. They're going to attempt to go onto the top of the Dendi Bat Rider. Emergent, a little bit of miscalculation there. But again, they're still going to find these kills. So a really good buyback in the end for Urgon. As now they can just take out this tower. And even a full rack, 'cause there's no buyback for Bait on both Excalibur and Dendi.
Durashka will have BKB and Battle Trance again when these heroes respawn. That's two sides. I don't think Bait can even stop them at this point. Maybe they can't even make them go back to base until it's over. There's no big cooldowns on the Radiant. 20 seconds on Earth Spirit, and they've got the whole tank ready again. And they have no side lanes to worry about. No problems. Just keep Durashka alive.
Wraith King back in 3. They might just back after this tower just to play a little bit safer. Okay, they tease us all by leaving it alive with 35 HP.
I think they might push in again. Just regenerating here with the salve as well as some Vlads, and then they could go high ground once more. Or they can take it easy. Like, both things are fine, honestly. They don't have to go. And they might not realize just how strong they are relative to the enemy team. So, I'm fine with the better safe than sorry mentality in a situation like this. I do think they maybe could have even ended the game.
Urgon has 1 charge on his Spirit Vessel right now. Looks like he's going towards an Aghanim Scepter, which
Smoke,
is a
there
top
it is.
5 Ags
Oh,
in the game,
Dendi.
in case you're wondering. Oh. He is
Did BKB?
chained up for now. Okay, pops the BKB, is extremely fast. But that was his 8-second BKB. So they know it's down for the foreseeable future. As we now have some tier 3 items coming into the fray.
Team Spirit want to go to Roche.
This would be a
Looks
big
like-
steal, but this is gonna be hard to take.
Oh, they're actually not going there. Bait might just get it.
Actually, going to boots a travel on top of Roshan as well. It's already at half health. Tidehunter
Afterlife-
has Ravage.
Afterlife
He's
gets the
walking
idea
in.
now.
He sees them. See if they can actually get this Roshan. It's at half HP. Oh my god, Dendi is getting destroyed. Actually dies right off the bat. The first one. Soulbind onto 2. Blade Mail is activated. The duel as well. It's onto 2 heroes. He's going to get 1. Excalibur still has Reincarnation with that Radiance doing that burn damage, but looks like Legion Commander's like a big Ravage onto 3. That is the first life for Excalibur, and as Cinderin the Great said, the second life is second. Double kill for Diraccio.
Nice TP.
As the Tamaha will get out of dodge, Cinderin just fine. As now Roshan's a freebie for Team Spirit.
Yeah, and they're probably
That was a
going to
good
chill a
attempt.
bit here and wait for Ravage to come online again. I think the safe play for Radiant right now is wait for the next Ravage and then go and push high ground. Maybe they're going to try beforehand, or Afterlife is just pushing the waves in. Doesn't look like they're trying to group up and get the job done now.
They're pretty close to Shiva's on Tide, so that would pretty much align relatively closely to that cooldown anyway. Aegis is on Earth Spirit, so the troll was actually going for Rax right
They
now.
are just going to go in. All right.
Okay. Without the help of Ember Spirit right now, but it's a freebie, so why not?
I didn't think
And
they would
down
be
it
able to
goes.
get here and get it done this fast before the enemy heroes respawned, but quick movement. They were able to, so nicely done. And yeah, you can sit
There's
around
the
here for a
Shivas.
minute until you have Ravage if you want, or if you're really confident, you can just try to take the fight regardless. The safe play here, if this is a TI game, Team Spirit wait for the next Ravage probably. But just for that, you know, in complete safety.
Dire's top tower
But this is not TI. so
Always
they're
play it safe, Synderen? Are you conservative? Is this how you would play?
It's always, how to say, you always look at the risk reward, right? There's nothing wrong with taking chances. If you always play safe, you're losing a lot of games that you should be winning. Sometimes you need to take risks, but in this game you don't need to take a risk anymore, right? You're just so much stronger.
Well,
so you can
Bait taking a risk on that Roshan I thought was a really good play.
yeah,
Wasn't able to
I love that they
get
went
it
for
to
it.
work. Duel
Now they're in
onto two with the
trouble.
Soulbind AA Blast coming in, and LC absolutely melts. And the rest of Bait will likely follow. They get the lasso. I just realized they didn't get a lasso Soulbind the entire game on the two heroes. That is really unfortunate. That's a pretty big combo. Urgon has the DD, Yules himself, and the rest of Bait can only watch in horror as their racks are about to get destroyed by Diraccio. Of course, he has the Orb of Destruction as well, so the extra minus armor will help melt through this. As there's the Ravage, will hit onto 3 as the ult. The Battle Trance Troll will likely just finish the game right now. Buybacks galore, and Bait really don't have much to hold on to here. As Dendi taken out in quick succession. And there's the third best taunt in the game, Synderen being used to full effect. GGs are out finally, as Bait lose this 0-2 to Team Spirit.
Yeah. I think, looking back at this series, there was a couple of good moments for Bait in this game where I thought they played fights pretty well, especially the Chen Pipe reveal.